What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best endgame greatsword and dagger build in Throne and Liberty. So in this guide I will show you a fully maxed setup with the best possible tier 1 gear, trades, masteries, skill rotations and everything else. And the best part about this is that for every single build choice I will explain my reasons, also where and how to get this powerful gear. And just overall, you will be able to see what a fully maxed tier 1 character will look like, and what at the endgame you can achieve as well. So if you want to use the best build in the game, then let's get right into it. This setup is very unique, because at first it may just seem like another bruiser. However, thanks to passive skills like the Vital Force and Cold Warrior, our damage output can be very high. Our playstyle will revolve around rotating your buffs into your DPS skills. Overall, daggers have higher attack speed, so keeping them out will allow us to get additional attacks, while at the same time the greatsword skills will keep us protected and give us one of the best buffs in the game. Also, even though most players prefer to stack as much HP as possible, because of the Vital Force we will be increasing our damage while getting more tankier at the same time. So let's move over to the setup. For the choice of weapons we are going with the greatsword and the dagger, and first of all we have our skills. So for defensive skill we use the Black Blade, while for active skills we get a Stunning Blow, Cleaving Moonlight, Valiant Brawl, Brutal Incision, Inject Venom, Guillotine Blade, Umbral Spirit, Fatal Stigma, Dead Blow, Willbreaker, Gaia Crash and Da Vinci's Courage. As you can see from the gameplay, I don't have all of the same skill icons on my bar. It is because the skill icons will change depending on our specialization setup. So Gaia Crash will turn into the Frost Cleaving. Then Inject Venom will turn into the Lightning Infusion. Then Valiant Brawl will turn into the Cruel Smite. Then Brutal Incision will turn into the Thunderclouds Bombing. And finally, Umbral Spirit will turn into the Thunder Spirit. Then for passives, we want to go with Destructive Fang, Assassin's Instincts, Wrathful Edge, Vital Force, Cold Warrior, Victor's Morale, Robust Constitution and Murderous Energy. As for skill upgrade priority, for active skills we mainly want to focus on the Valiant Brawl, Cleaving Moonlight, Brutal Incision, Dead Blow, Gaia Crash, Da Vinci's Courage and Inject Venom. While for passive skills we focus on the Vital Force, Cold Warrior, Assassin's Instincts, Wrathful Edge, Victor's Morale, Destructive Fang, Murderous Energy and Robust Constitution. And then for the rest of your skills, they're not as important, so just upgrade them as you progress through the game. Also, remember to always upgrade all of your skills to blue first before moving on to the purple. Next we have skill specialization, and for the Stunning Blow we want to get the cooldown reduction and damage increase. Then for Cleaving Moonlight get these three, so consecutive use, effect accumulation and attack speed increase. Then for Valiant Brawl get a damage increase. Then for Brutal Incision get the Thunderclouds Bombing. For Inject Venom get the Lightning Infusion. For Guillotine Blade get the Charges Time and cooldown reduction. For Umbral Spirit get the Thunder Spirit. For Fatal Stigma get damage increase. For Dead Blow get the cooldown reduction. Then for Willbreaker don't select anything. For Gaia Crash get the Frost Cleaving and attack speed increase. And finally for Da Vinci's Courage get the duration increase. Next we have Weapon Mastery, and this is how it should look like for the greatsword. So take a look at the middle and get only this one node called the Skilled Vitality. Then next go to the bottom and get that entire row. And then lastly go to the top and get everything from the ranged defense up until the Overcome Snare. And then again, this is how it should look like for the dagger. So this time again we start in the middle, but now get everything from Silent Dash up until the Sorrowful Silence. And then go to the bottom and get that entire row. Next, let's take a look at our gear. And if you are looking for a full green or blue gear setup, then I recommend for you to watch my previous build videos. So first off, we are using the Adentis Gargantuous Greatsword, with traits like the hit chance, heavy attack chance and critical hit chance. All gear should be at its max level, and you can get this item by defeating the Adentis. Next we have the Licorious Wicked Thorns, with hit chance, heavy attack chance and critical hit chance. You can get it from the Paola's Dimension chest or from the Cave of Destruction. Next we have the Divine Justiciar Mask with magic evasion, melee evasion and cooldown speed. You can get it from the Butcher's Canyon. Next we have the Supreme Devotion with mana regen, skill damage resistance and debuff duration. You can get it from the Cave of Destruction. Next we have the Shadow Harvester tunic with magic evasion, ranged evasion and buff duration. You can get it from purple armor chests or by defeating the Avolosh Jacker. As we are using 2 pieces of the death set, so you will get plus 14% critical damage boost. Next we have the Shadow Harvester grips with mana regen, magic evasion and ranged evasion. You can get it from the Temple of Slaughter. Next we have the Ibn Roar greaves with melee evasion, ranged evasion and debuff duration. You can get it from the Temple of Slaughter. Next we have the Sabotons of the Field General with melee evasion, ranged evasion and movement speed. You can get it by defeating the Dark Wizard or the Berserker Dark Enforcer. Next up we have the Clasp of the Conqueror with max health, skill damage boost and buff duration. You can only get it from purple armor chests. Next we have the Ancient Saurodoma Bracers with mana regen, skill damage resistance and debuff duration. You can get it from Tyrant's Isle. Next we have the Edged Alabaster Band with max health, skill damage boost and buff duration. You can get it by defeating the Demon Hoof Shaman. Next we have the Amber Dimensional Band with max health, skill damage boost and buff duration. You can get it from purple armor chests. And finally we have the Belt of the Endless Slaughter with max health, skill damage resistance and debuff duration. You can get it from Butcher's Canyon. Last but not least, if at this current moment you only have blue gear, then don't worry, because that gear doesn't really matter, and you will soon enough start changing it for the purple pieces. The setup that I showed is the best current gear that anyone can farm, but no matter what gear you choose, this build will still work fine. But this setup is just an example of what the best of the best items will look like. Next up we have the stats, and depending on your gear, you should adjust them accordingly. The goal for your endgame build is to reach 50 strength, 40 dexterity and 40 perception. All of these milestones will give us very high damage and survivability. Next up, let's take a look at our gear upgrades. This game doesn't have very typical gear progression, so by this I mean that you will have to upgrade pretty much anything you get. So you'll go from grey to green to blue and finally to purple. No matter at which stage of progression you're watching this video, just keep upgrading your equipment to their max level. And then when you get better gear, just transfer the experience from the old one to the new one. As for my gear recommendations, when you reach level 50, just farm accessible gear by doing open world dungeons. Also, you want to extract traits from gear for Lucent. On top of that, you will need to turn important purple gear into lithographs and then sell them on the auction house. Last but not least, for your traits, just prioritize the ones that give you the highest damage. And don't forget that you can acquire new traits by using the trait unlock stone. Next we have our Guardian choice, and this creature is a special transformation that can add offensive or defensive buffs to your character for 30 seconds. And for our build, the best option is the Shade Remnant Steno. This Guardian launches projectiles every second that can crit and heavy attack. As we already have a lot of defensives, so this is the best Guardian for dealing damage. And as for PvE, damage is all that really matters, so this is our best option. And now finally, we have come to the gameplay. So the highest damage rotation will be separated into 2 parts, the buff phase and the damage phase. So first of all, we start our rotation by using Da Vinci's Courage, then Thunder Spirit, and then the Lightning Infusion. And then from here, the second phase starts, where we do big damage by using Willbreaker, then Frost Cleaving, then Stunning Blow, then Lightning Infusion for the second time, then Fatal Stigma, then Death Blow, then Galatine Blade, then Thundercloud's Bombing, then Cleaving Moonlight, and then we finish it off with the Valiant Brawl. As far as general gameplay tips go, be sure to use your buffs right away when they come back up, so you would get the best possible DPS. Also, be sure to have 20 stacks of Thunderclouds before using the Thundercloud's Bombing, so you could maintain these high damage numbers. And finally, by having high attack speed, it will allow us to get our damage off quicker, because it will lower the time of the animation, which in return will reduce our skill downtime every second. And that's about it. So, if you enjoyed this video, click like, subscribe and comment. If you're interested in more content, then check out my channel, and I will see you in the next one, so take it easy, peace.